Center update. Joe Burrow reached an agreement on a 5-year, $275 million extension with the team that included $219 million guaranteed, making him the highest-paid player in the NFL. The Detroit Lions defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 21-20 in the opening game of the 2023 NFL season. And finally, water sounds different depending on the temperature. How about that? What up, you fan Levitardians? It is Nasty Nate here. You know how I do. We gon' break it down. We got yourselves a classic throwback to the Levitard show here. Got 3 segments for you. Segment 1. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. The hierarchy of sports has been restored. They're here to grab all the more millions. And I say take it. I'm loving that it's back. Did you watch last night's game? Lions, Chiefs? Are the Lions for real? Well, let me tell you. I think they're for real. And I've got a little something for you called Nathan's Gonna Let Him Know. My 3 big takeaways from the game. What up? This is Let 'em Know. I got 3 big things from last night's game, and I'm about to let 'em know. Big thing number 1, Goff is good enough, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's where I got him in the QB tier. Goff, good enough. He could be moving up depending how this season goes. I mean, success in 2 situations here. Now, Nathan, you're like, isn't that a little bit early? They're only 1-0. It's early in the season. Chiefs didn't have Kelsey. Like, it's just 1 win. Ladies and gentlemen, going 9-8 on the Detroit Lions and making it. Like, when's the last time Detroit had a quarterback last 3 seasons? Okay, Matthew Stafford, sorry. Forgot. But, you know, a lot of people were maybe looking unfavorably on that trade. I'm thinking Detroit didn't make out so bad now. I mean, they weren't going to... Who are we going to say won that trade? Is it the Rams just because they got a Super Bowl out of Stafford? Detroit wasn't going to get a Super Bowl if they kept him. But what could happen for them now with the young team that they have and with Goff? He's good enough, ladies and gentlemen. I thought he played well last night. I think he's a quarterback who's going to play mistake-free football, and this is going to be a solid team. Looks like they got a decent D, but again, we don't know how good the Chiefs are. That's not one of my let them knows, though. We don't know how good the Chiefs are. That's just a little something. Their time could be up, ladies and gentlemen. They got to do something, because this one here is another Nathan Minima let them know. The Chiefs wide receivers suck. Sky Moore. And now that pass was too high for him. Right in the breadbasket, ladies and gentlemen. That's an easy pass and catch, or catch and pass, or whatever. Sky Moore, no good. Kadarius Toney, don't even get me started. Dude's trash. You know what Kadarius Toney's going to do? He's going to lose you games. Well, actually, he's not going to win you games. You're not going to win because of Kadarius Toney. You're going to win because Patrick Mahomes keeps throwing it right at his face mask, and eventually something's going to get stuck in there and he's going to catch it. But at some point, you're going to have him cost you a game like he did tonight. The drop in the 4th quarter with 2 minutes left to go. The wide receiving core, not good. I mean, look at who they got. The rookie Rice looked good. Play him more. Okay? You got Richie James. Again, they've got these ramshackle parts from the Giants, by the way, which who's ever, like, they did anything over there. Not a good receiving core. Word on the street is they're going to have to draft a weapon for Patrick Mahomes. Because are they wasting Mahomes' prime? Guy could be, right? Is 2 Super Bowls, if that's all he ever gets, did they waste the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, someone who has a shot to take down Brady, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, he's that good. But are they giving him the help he needs? They need to get some serious weapons in Kansas City because they got Packer rejects, Giant rejects, and that's just not cutting it at wide receiver. And in the draft, you honestly haven't been hitting. Maybe something comes of this Rice fella. I thought it was interesting that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still so much a part of that. I thought Pacheco solidified himself, but I guess they're going to do this whole thing. I just don't get. I mean, sure, they look good. They're competitive. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle this year. They're not going to repeat. And my last, let them know from last night's game is, ladies and gentlemen, why do coaches do this thing? Do you know what this thing is? What coaches do? It's where they play the veteran and they don't let the rookie get cooking. Gibbs for the Lions. Clearly, you watch the game, the first touch that guy had, electric. 2 spin moves, breaking it, 10+ yards, fast, speed. Well, David Montgomery, what has he ever done? He's been a nice, adequate, mediocre running back. But Gibbs, he's got it. He's got a little bit of that spark. And they did get him the ball, but why is he not getting more touches? 21 to Montgomery. Take away 5 of those from Montgomery. Give those 5 more. Gibbs would have done more with it. I mean, so why do coaches do this? The rookies got to earn it or something instead of, just he's clearly a more electric player and they're just trusting in this veteran who's a clearly inferior player. Not that David Montgomery's bad, but the potential for Gibbs, the ceiling is way higher and you have a good team. So it's week 1. Okay, maybe you're going to work him into the season. I think they did talk about they want to keep him healthy all year. Okay, I better see those touches go up, Oh, man. Football's back, you guys. You know what that means? DraftKings is back, too. And your Van Lebitard daily fantasy expert, I went a little bit crazy. DraftKings had those deals. They've got, I think it's 8 days of deals before week 1. Today's deal was you sign up for 3 of their, $1 million showdown or whatever, and you get 10 DK bucks. I did that because I was like, you know what? That's not a bad deal. You put in $30, maybe one of them hits, and you already got one of them covered. If the other one of them hits, you already cover all your money, right? So a 30% chance of being successful. Well, your boy tanked it. I got close to cashing, but not good enough. None of them cashed for me, and now I gotta cool it because I gotta make my money last. So, I'm down early here, but I'm really looking forward to the weekly Lebitard Show challenges and just getting into the grind. I did way too many best ball drafts, but I'm excited for the NFL football season, folks. Football! It's back, baby.
It's silent now, we don't say a word. We're just looking at each other. Tears in our eyes from the words we said. Yeah, it kinda broke my heart.
But first, your Sports Center update. The U.S. Open semifinal between Coco Gauff and Karolina Muchova was delayed by 49 minutes because of a disruption by 4 environmental activists in the One Arthur Ashe Stadium stands Thursday night. One protester glued his bare feet to the concrete floor. I mean, how good could that glue be for the environment?
We're all gonna die.
I mean, it can't be good. After a 21-20 defeat against the Lions, Patrick Mahomes says he has trust in Kadarius Toney. I mean, he has to say that, right? And finally, Humboldt Penguins launched their poo at nearly 8 kilometers per hour. Yeah, but can they knock one off the iceberg they're on too at the same time? I don't think so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, what about a little beef update? We've talked heavily about the Le Batard Show beefs. You know, for my emergency episode when Nasty Nate really broke down the Amin and Izzy fight, that I thought it was a bit. You know, I didn't think they were really going blow for blow. I thought that it was a bit, but the Le Batard Show, I thought, hey, if it's a bit, they're going to clear it up and make it known. They haven't done that. Now, they've made little hints here and there, but you know what, guys? I'm starting to think, like, what? I'm questioning what is going on, because now Dan Le Batard, which I missed this, by the way. Ty, in our little group chat, pointed this out to me. Dan Le Batard, I mean, I heard this, but I didn't fully process it. Dan Le Batard and Billy Gill not talking for 6 months. That's what Dan says. Billy's getting in his feelings. What is going on? Whose beefs are bits? I feel like I'm trapped in a glass case of emotion now every time I turn on the show. Amin and Izzy, and now Dan and Billy. It's like it just won't stop. It's like, guys, stop with the fighting. The fans, we care about you, but the show just keeps having these beefs, and you know what? That's natural, guys. Conflict is a part of life. That's what I sit my 4th graders down, and I tell them, you're not in trouble because you had conflict. You're going to have conflict. You're in trouble because of how you chose to handle that conflict, right? So, what's happening between Dan and Billy? Is this all part of some elaborate bit that the show is doing? Or are there simmering tensions that need to be worked out? Do we need to explore Billy Gill and really probe those feelings in maybe a mystery crate? Does Dan need to be explored? 6 months ago, though, what happened 6 months ago? That's Super Bowl. I think something happened around the show's Super Bowl coverage. If this is in fact, I mean, why would this be a bit at this point? There must be some sort of simmering conflict. It was interesting because Mike's response to that when Dan said that is, "Are you still going through that?" And Dan's like, "Yeah, that's why I keep bringing up Marlins, like inviting him to talk." Like, it's real. As the fan of the show, you know me, I'm still trying to find out who took the fine bucket money. I really want to find out what happened here and get down to the bottom of it, of what happened. If I had to get, I don't know. It's weird. We now know more about what Dan's been going through on the show with losing his brother, how that's affected him. Maybe that's made him tense because he's processing a lot. Totally understandable. I don't know. But all this beef on the show, it's like, I don't know what to think now. I was thoroughly in between Izzy and Amin is a bit, and you know, now that it still hasn't been revealed, I'm going to get down to the bottom of this, fan Le Batardians, and I know you want to get down to the bottom of this. I don't have any like fears of the show. Like, I think they're all going to stick together and stuff. It's just, it's interesting to learn this about the show, and as someone who just wants to know everything, we got to get down to the bottom of it. What did Dan say? The Super Bowl coverage? He's throwing pins at that. Does Dan need a little bit more time to recover? It's okay, Dan. If you need it, you can go ahead and take it. I mean, we all take more time than others. But then again, I don't know if it's Dan's fault, Billy's fault. I don't know. I guess the way it was framed, Dan said something that got Billy in his feelings and hurt. It's just interesting that a show about comedy that's something that would happen that would leave a simmering tension 6 months, apparently, of like how long. But it's interesting. Dan's like, are you still going through that? Is Mike's response where like you feel like that'd be a apparent thing that everyone would still know. If Dan and Billy haven't really talked in 6 months, everyone's going to still notice like, whoa, those things are still frigid between them. So I just don't know anymore. Again, I don't know what to think now. I don't know, guys. I just want the hurt to stop. Because it's tearing me apart inside, all these gut punches. You know? It's really beating me up. Oop. Some squeaked out there, Nasty Nate, folks. But what's happening with all these beefs? I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling now. But it's interesting. I hope it leads to an elaborate bit or something. I don't know. But actually, I mean, it can't at this point. The conflict has to be real. And I guess at this point, just hope the show continues to go smoothly and people mend fences, you know, because you feel like they're your family and nobody wants to hear that things are fighting and people aren't getting along. Why can't we all just get along, Levitard show? Billy, you're the top-rated analyst. Dan, you're a top-rated gas bag in my book. Let's bring this out. Let's heal this. South Beach Sessions. Kugler, I know you hear this. South Beach Sessions, Dan and Billy Gill. Get it? It would be electric with this thing. There it is. There's what we're building to, folks. The solution. Dan, Billy Gill, South Beach Sessions. Kugler, I know you do Oddball. I'm pretty sure you still actually, is it Kugler? Yeah, Kugler. I think Kugler does South Beach Sessions too. But how many things can someone produce? I don't know. Cougs, if you're out there and you're listening, get Billy Gill and Dan together on a South Beach Sessions. It would do great numbers. And it would put the fans at ease. Please. Someone, anyone, heal the beefs. Heal the show beefs. No more beefs. Nasty Nate. Moving on to the next segment where we're about to find something out. The Los Angeles Dodgers defeated the Miami Marlins 10-0 last night, hurting the Marlins' playoff chances, but they're still firmly in the hunt. I believe they're even right now currently in. I'd have to check the standings, but I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, folks. Ohtani wasn't in the Angels' starting lineup for the fourth straight game when they hosted the Cleveland Guardians, but Los Angeles manager Phil Nevin said the two-way superstar might be available to pinch hit. I mean, what are we doing here? Rest the guy. And finally, octopuses have a donut-shaped brain. What else don't we know about these guys? These suspicious octopuses? Octopi? I think, yeah, that's on my list of things to not say. I forgot I'm supposed to say octopi, not octopuses. Pablo Torre Finds Out is launched, you guys, huh? Got 2 episodes. I don't know if someone's dropping next week. It would be nice if I could know what days exactly a show will come out. But you guys, it is amazing. Pablo Torre Finds Out blows my mind how good it is. It's exactly what I was hoping for, and it's tons of fun. I mean, PP tapes unearthed by Stu Gotts, playing Madden with McDaniels. smoking weed on court 17. Turns out Pablo Torre found out it's not being smoked on court 17. It's being smoked in a park nearby. It just wafts on over, folks. But it's still affecting those sensitive tennis players. But they're working hard. I don't know. Would you be thrown off by the smell of weed if you were playing tennis or a sport? What sport do you think it would affect people the most to be smelling weed? Put it on the poll or something. But Pablo Torre, I love it. Let's count the things that I love about Pablo Torre Finds Out. Number one, the name. I think, like everyone, we all thought it was going to be Here's the Thing with Pablo Torre. I love that short little trailer video that they made that explained how they got to Pablo Torre Finds Out. And I like that even better because it has a, Here's the Thing with Pablo Torre just feels singular. Pablo Torre is always going to be telling you something. But now Pablo Torre finds out, or he messes around, it gives variety to the show. And so I love the structure that they have, the share and tells. I've loved all the share and tells with Dan and Mina, with Katie Nolan and her boo, Dan Soder. Great episode with the two of them. Fantastic. The McDaniels insight, loved hearing that and hearing how he would play. I think it was Techno Bowl where he would do the prime time, play as Deion Sanders, and then pick off passes as go prime time. But that was, tremendous. Pablo Torre's finding it out. You better watch yourself. Watch out for what you're doing, because Pablo Torre is going to find out whatever it is you did, because that's Pablo Torre Finds Out. So one, I love the name. Two, I love the structure of the show. I'm really looking forward to, seeing there. I believe there's one more structure that's out there. And if you watch the videos, there's like Pablo Torre explains something. Pablo Torre F's around. Gas bag magic. I don't believe we've clicked on a gas bag magic yet. So, which brings me to, I guess, art design. 3, I love the art design. It works. Here's the thing. They say podcast, also video, should work as both. It's true. I watch it and listen to it, and it works just as good as a podcast as watching. I do think if I did have the time to sit down and watch it in full, I would enjoy that more because of the little graphics, which again, that's something that I love. I love the graphics, the art design, love the neon, the color scheme, the vibe of it all. Fantastic. Tons of work in production. I want to see more production like that across Meadowlark. All right? Because it really adds to the vibe of the show. But I want to see that, the full structure. Very excited. And speaking of excited, folks, Meadowlark has landed themselves a little bit more times in our lives. Mina Kimes, Meadowlark weekly guest. So, unfortunately, I don't think what they have with Mina is going to be the same as Pablo or Amin, because she did sign that big fat contract. You can shut your big dumb mouth, Nick Adams, using that as an opportunity to made me so mad reading that freaking Nick Adams Twitter and your algorithm throwing stuff at you, people that you know is just going to agitate you. Oh, come on. Don't drive engagement through agitation. I was going to type a little something up, deleted it. I'm like, I don't need to waste my energy on that. But anyway, super excited to have Mina as a regular guest on the show. And you could kind of see this coming because she's been on more and more. And it feels like, is something happening between Meadowlark and ESPN? What is up with this? Recently, you guys been noticing like they're getting everybody's coming back on the show. Now, is it because they were covering for Dan, or is something brewing? I'm not saying getting back together, but just in terms of ESPN being more open and letting talent come and be a part of Meadowlark. And so now Dan did say the line to sign Mina is going to have to get in line behind us. Well, turns out ESPN cut in front of that line, locked her up. But we did secure a little something. I think what they've got is she's going to be a weekly guest during the NFL season, which is awesome. Going to love having that. I hope that maybe part of that is that she gets to do regular things on Pablo Torre Finds Out that continues throughout the football season, and that does seem like that's going to be something that's regular because I love Mina's football talk. I love her analysis. Very good at what she does. I think, though, I also love the fun Mina Kimes who just messes around. She's very talented, very hilarious, and I'd love to have her not just talk X's and O's, but talk about other things. Talk about X's and Ho's, the college football possible podcast with Lucy and Smetty, which, by the way, is awesome. That was a nice little surprise too. The little weekly segment talking college football. Love it. That's very well done. You can tell it's something that they're keeping on top of. And Meadowlark, you guys, despite all the beefs or bits or beefs, Meadowlark's in a really good place. I'm excited for what the future has. So that's it for me, folks. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, comment, like, join us on the YouTube. Join us on the podcast. Rate us 5 stars. And coming up soon, right? You can support us. You can send a little tip. Send a beer my way or something, right? Send a coffee. Give me a little energy. I do these things late night, burning the midnight oil. It's a lot of work, folks. But I appreciate everyone's support. Thank you, everyone. Nasty Nate, out.